Good day, gentlemen. My girl and I just had our 6-year anniversary and we've built a fantastic relationship. But if you had told me that 6 to 7 years ago, I would have called you a dreamer and a liar, or I would have broken into tears of joy. So I want to give you 4 layers. We'll go deeper with every single one of them that really helped me to get to this beautiful and fulfilling side of relationships. Because I had the classic loser story growing up, to be honest. I got bullied as a teenager, didn't have any interest from girls, to the point where no girl would even hug me until I was 15. Not even kidding. That's unfortunate, but it is the truth. And I could have become very bitter, to be honest. Even over the last few years, I tried building a few businesses and all of them failed. I could have become very bitter. But now I have a successful business. Now I don't get bullied anymore. I'm not at the bottom of the social hierarchy anymore, and I have a great relationship. And, so many men nowadays, they become this bitter person that sits in the pub at night talking to his bitter friends about how happy all of them are without a wife, how happy all of them are without making a lot of money. And at the end of the day, all of them became so bitter because one after the other relationship failed for them. Don't be one of those guys. Don't become so bitter. It does not lead you where you want to go. But I mean, that's easier said than done, right? So let's dive into these 4 layers so you can actually get to the other beautiful, fulfilling side of relationships. So for layer number 1, you have to understand that the cynics get to be right, but the optimists get to be rich. I love this quote because it is so, so true. And this doesn't just apply to money. This applies to riches in wealth, health, and relationships. The cynic says, my relationship is doomed to fail. The optimist finds a way. The cynic says, I can't get into shape. The optimist finds a way. And the cynic will be right. His relationships will fail. He will not get into shape. And I'll tell you why. Because does the cynic have undeniable evidence that his relationship will fail and that's why he thinks it will fail? Or does his relationship fail because he thinks it will fail? Because here's the thing, man. I don't think you have a crystal ball to look into the future with. So you don't have any evidence that your relationship is doomed to fail. The truth is, so many people have built fantastic relationships. So it is obviously possible. It's not just that you're an outcast or whatever who doesn't, you're not special is what I'm saying here. Everyone can build a great relationship. Everyone can. If I can. If I'm the one person who could, then you can. For fuck's sake. I get annoyed at this because, dude, I teach my mentorship clients the right skills in like a couple months and then suddenly their relationship is great. Oh wonder, because they've developed the right skills. But if you believe that your relationship is doomed to fail for some reason, then obviously you won't even take the right steps to learn these skills because you believe it is doomed to fail anyway. Doesn't matter what you do. Now, for layer number 2, I want you to really imagine that you drive to work with a coworker every single day, 5 days a week, right, for months. And every single time he talks about how bad his relationship is and how doomed to fail it is and how everything is gonna go to shit. That classic cynic, right? What's gonna happen? Really imagine you being in that situation. What will happen? He will put that same virus into your head, whether you want to or not. You cannot protect yourself against it. Because what will happen is he will say something, he will put some idea into your mind, and then you will see the same thing happening in your relationship because he pointed it out. And then suddenly you're in this downward spiral mentally where you see only the negative of your relationship. But the truth is, nothing is perfect. And that's actually a good thing. The cynic thinks, oh, nothing is perfect, so everything is shit. The optimist think, oh, nothing is perfect, so that is an opportunity for me to grow. And I don't know about you, but I like growth. I like evolving myself. Surround yourself with people who think like optimists. Because if you have these cynics in your life, what will happen is every one of us has a cynic within us. We all have that inner cynic in that sense. But if we surround ourselves with the right people, that cynic very quickly gets very silent. But if we have people in our life who constantly talk negative about relationships and about why their relationship will fail, and they constantly look for signs, then we will also start looking for those signs, and then the relationship will fail. So many men nowadays, I don't get this, but so many guys nowadays are honestly addicted to watching some red pill or men going their own way kind of YouTuber who always talks about, why she will cheat on you and the 10 reasons why she will lose attraction to you, all this bullshit. And what happens is, then these guys who watch these videos wonder why their relationships fail constantly. Of course they fail. You know, the funny thing is, all those YouTubers, and probably even the viewers of those YouTubers, they would, with 100% certainty, find reasons for why my girl has cheated on me in the last 6 years, even though she hasn't. They find signs where there are no signs. Now, layer number 3 is crucial for breaking through those negative mental cycles. But before I get into that, real quick, if you're serious about transforming a relationship into a trusting, loving, peaceful one, then I want to offer you my help. What you can do is you can apply for a discovery call with me. There's a link in the description. That discovery call is free, but it's not a free coaching call. It's really a call where we talk about your relationship. We have a very honest conversation about where you're at and where you want to go and whether it makes sense for you to receive my mentorship. And so if that's of interest to you, you can basically click the link in the description. You can fill out the application. It takes less than 1 minute. And then if I think that you're someone I would want to work with, then I'll reach out to you and we will get on that call. So do that right now and maybe we'll talk soon. So layer number 3 is probably the most important lesson I learned from this spiritual teacher, Eckhart Tolle. He wrote this fantastic book that by now I've probably read more than 6 or 7 times, plus listening to the audiobook a couple of times. It's called The Power of Now. And in that book, he goes over one concept, which is you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And this, nobody ever told you this, but you have the ability to detach from your thoughts, look at them from the outside, and actually judge whether these thoughts serve you or not. What really helps me here is literally seeing myself as the observer of myself. So I see myself in like a third person perspective. This is very practical, but it really, really helps. I see myself in a third person perspective. I close my eyes and I imagine myself looking at myself. You know what I mean? And what happens then is I can then detach from my thoughts, detach from everything that I'm thinking about, and I can then judge these thoughts on the basis of whether they serve me or not. Try this for yourself the next time you get into these negative thought patterns. And I guarantee, here's the thing, man. You can think of a pink elephant when I tell you about a pink elephant. And so that means you can control your thoughts. Or even I can control your thoughts for that matter, but you can too. You don't have a parasite in your head that controls your thoughts, that tells you exactly what to think. No, you can control your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And so you can control them, you can see them from the outside, from a third person perspective, like I said, and then you can change them consciously when you see that they're not serving you. You can say, fuck you subconscious, basically, and you can from the outside go and say, you know what, I'm gonna consciously control my thoughts now. Do that the next time those negative spirals start happening, because it will massively help you to overcome this and to get out of this spiral. And so now, layer number 4, which is by far the most important layer. In general, I always keep the most important lessons to the end of my videos because I only want the guys like you who are fully committed to transforming the relationship. I only want guys like you to get those lessons. So layer number 4 is realize that the past does not exist. There is only ever the present moment. And that present moment, when I last said present moment, has already passed now. The only thing that ever actually exists is you in the present moment. The past does not exist. So don't let the past control your future outcome. Here's the thing, man. Your past does not control who you are in the future. Me being skinny, okay, now I'm in shape. Me not having any, even like literally zero interest from girl, okay, now I'm in a 6-year relationship with a fucking amazing woman. Your past does not predict your future. But what I want to say here is this. The only way to actually predict your future, there's 2 ways. The first way is you change nothing. Because if you change nothing, then the past will just repeat itself in the future. Because if nothing changes, right? But the second way is you do change something, and then the future will be different. If you do the right thing, it will be great. If you do the wrong thing, it will be even worse. And so to every single guy who thinks, I'm just not the kind of guy who can actually have a relationship. My relationships always fail after a certain amount of time. To that guy, I say two things. First of all, don't believe that, because if you do, you will make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. You will subconsciously think, oh, it's about that time that my relationship failed the last time, or the last 3 times. It's been 1 year again, whatever. And so now it's gonna fail again. Because if you think that subconsciously, even just subconsciously, you will act in those ways. And when you act in those ways, you will make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. And point number 2 is, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you want to repeat the past, then don't do anything about what you did back then. Don't learn from your mistakes. Don't change anything. Sure, and here's the thing. When it comes to learning, I like to use Alex Hormozi's definition of learning. He's like a huge entrepreneur, right? And he says learning is same condition, different outcome. So you have the same condition, you're in the same situation, but you act differently and you have a different action. Or he says same condition, different action, I think, or different outcome, doesn't matter. But if you have same situation and same behavior, then you haven't learned. And so people say, oh, I learned from my mistakes, but then they actually repeat the same exact mistake in the future again. No, you haven't learned from your mistake. You might be aware of the mistake, but you're still doing the exact same thing that you've done in the last relationship. Here's the thing, man. I was skinny, got no interest from girls, grew up in a low middle class family, had whatever, I can name all these things, got bullied, was at the bottom of the social hierarchy. Now, I run a successful business. I'm in a 6-year relationship with an awesome woman. I just moved to a different country. Brother, just because my past was like this, that does not mean that my future has to be the same. I'm not saying any of this to brag. I'm saying all of this to help you realize that your past does not control your future. For your whole life, you have done things that you have never done before. I have never moved to a different country. Okay, I still did it. Doesn't mean that, okay, I haven't done it in the past, that I can't do it. No. Oh, all my relationships failed. That doesn't mean that you can't still have a great relationship. Your past does not exist, brother. It does not exist. The only thing that matters is developing the right skills and developing the right mindsets and the right paradigms. And that's what I'm doing here with these videos for you. You know, and then people say, oh, but a relationship is different because there's 2 people involved. Sure, but it's not different. Because were you born knowing how to make friends and how to keep up friendships? No. Were you born knowing how to be a good son? No. Were you born knowing how to be a good father? I'm not a father yet, but was I born like that? No. Will I learn the right skills? Fuck yes, I will. Everything is a skill. And who you were in the past does not automatically predict who you will be in the future, as long as you do something about it. Now, if you came to the conclusion that you are one of those guys who want to give their current relationship the best shot possible and you want to break this curse of failed relationships forever, and you're a hardworking guy, then I want to offer you my help. Because I've helped a bunch of hardworking men turn their relationship into one where she is so sweet and so loving and so radiant and so caring, and he feels so fulfilled and so desired and so respected. And what I offered all of those guys was a free discovery call with me. It's not a free coaching call, but it's a call where I had a very honest conversation with them about where they were at in their relationship, where they wanted to take their relationship, and whether it makes sense for them to receive my mentorship. And so this discovery call is also what I'm going to offer to you now. But I want to be very transparent about one thing. There's a lot of men wanting to work with me. I'm growing very quickly on YouTube to the point where for the last 2.5 months, I didn't take on any new clients. I just couldn't. But now I'm reopening spots until November 15th. And so if you are one of those serious guys who actually wants to transform their relationship, then you can go to the description of this video, you can click on that link and you can fill out the application for that discovery call. It takes 1 minute to fill out the application, and if I think that you're someone I want to work with, then I will reach out to you and we will get on the call and we will see whether it makes sense for you to receive my mentorship. Stop procrastinating, stop wasting your life away. If you want to actually transform your relationship as quickly and as easily as possible, click the link in the description, fill out the application right now, and maybe we will talk very soon. Have a good day.